Hey guys, what's going on? Always gotta wait for a little bit. First thing I want to tell you is I just got done doing a live video. If you're not getting when I go live, make sure you hit that bell notification button and it'll let you know when I go live. I go live usually early in the morning on the weekends, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, so kind of early, sometimes 1 o'clock. But usually I wait till my son is deep in sleep, jump on here, go live, record my videos. So there you go. But today I'm going to be talking about Zoo TV show season 1. I'm going to break this down for you, and I'm halfway through season 2, I think. So I'm going to try not to kind of go over and just talk about season 1. So season 1, and I kind of want to talk about if you have seen it, but if you haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen Zoo, this is my precursor spoiler alert. But if you haven't seen The Zoo, go check it out on Netflix. It's currently on there at the time of this recording. The Zoo, I think it's an ABC show. I think. Um, Go to Netflix, check it out, or somewhere online, check out The Zoo, and come back here and watch the season 1 review. I'm yawning. I'm sorry. I always yawn every single time, all the time. Anyways, The Zoo is a show about basically animals evolving and taking over, trying to kill humanity. Basically, that's the show. So if you haven't seen it, not one episode, not two episodes, you haven't seen any of the first season, stop the video, go watch it. Remember what the title is, subscribe to the channel, come back and watch the video again when you've seen it. Alright, so anyway, that's my spoiler. So I am going to talk about the first season, what happened in the first season, and we got introduced to the characters very, very slowly. We got introduced to them, you got to learn who they were, and as season 1 progressed, a lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened. And you got to know a lot of the main things about the characters. And just to talk about season 2 briefly, not you learn a little bit in season 2, but season 1 is a lot of building of these characters. Um, but season 1, there was so much that happened. Um, with, I mean, when season 1 first started, there was no animal activity. There was a lot of like he said, she said, and what's her name? I want to say Jessica. I don't think that's it though. There's, hold on, I might have to say the characters' names. There's Jackson. Who's the big black guy? What's his name? It starts with A? I think it starts with A. Mitch is the scientist. Chloe is the French intelligent American chick for some reason. Who is the other characters? I don't know why I'm yawning. I thought I was about to send the live video I just recorded. Um, but there was a reporter. You learn about her losing her job and everything like that, and her attaching herself, trying to get this thing against Raiden Global. That really is kind of on the back burner. It's kind of like if you haven't seen Prison Break, there's always somebody working for the corporation that was after the criminals in that show. It's kind of like that, except it's less of that. Very, very less of that. Like every once in a while, there's somebody working for a Raiden Global, which I would think in that show that would be the biggest precursor. But I'm glad it's not all about that. It would be like Zoo Prison Break, and I don't know. It would be very, very weird, but it's still kind of like that. Not trying to give anything away what happens in the next season if you haven't seen it, but first season was really a lot of building blocks, and you get to learn these characters and everything, and see what they're all about, how their mindset is. And the end of the first season came very, very weird, is because, well, it's weird now knowing what happens in the second season. It's like lame ending. Cool. Wait, no, that's not right. Cool ending. Lame start to a new season. You'd think with the ending like that, that the second season would start off with a bang. Spoiler alert, it does not start off with a bang. Very, very low key from where it ends. Um, so I'll go ahead and jump to where it ended in season one, and I'll kind of work backwards. It ended with basically things have spiraled out of control. It's not even safe to go outside anymore because the animals are going crazy and they're just running amok. And at any time, an animal could come and it could kill you, which I kind of enjoy. It's not like, oh, there's animals outside and they're waiting outside at every corner. No, it's not like that. It's like they're roaming around, they're doing stuff. If they happen to see you, they will probably kill you. They will work together and they will probably kill you. But they may not be outside. And there's times where they're talking outside and there's no animals around. So it's kind of awesome in that way, is that it's kind of reality based. Like if something really were to happen and there was something like that happen, you could step outside and probably not get killed. But in, some crazy outlandish movie, they would probably have like animals just randomly like all being outside. And if somebody was really going over the top, they would be like, animals are everywhere. They're every single place. Like they're like rabbits. They reproduce like donkeys or something. I don't know, but they're not like that, which is cool. But at the end of the first season, they're which I don't know how many episodes it was. I swear it was like 13, 14, 15 episodes or something. It felt like forever to get through it, but I think it was actually like 10 or 12. It seems like it took forever to get through the season. I think there might have been 12. But I mean, it was a lot of explaining to get to the point of the second season. So, um, and I don't want to give anything. I was almost started to say something about second season. So, yeah. But I'm not done with second season, so I shouldn't be thinking stuff about second season negatively. A little tidbit right there. A little insight to what I was thinking about currently. Anyway, about second season. The first season is so good, and introducing you to everybody, and you see all these animals showing up around the world, like what they're doing, and they even show sometimes some of the people getting killed or how they died, and then people show up and inspect the places, and the person's dead, and certain things in the scene, show up, and people wonder why. Or there was one point where these ladies, some lesbian older couple, taking care of pigeons in Alaska or Antarctica. I think it was Antarctica, and it might have been Alaska. I don't know. Some really, really cool place. So probably Antarctica, I think. And these bats show up, and they're like, "Why is there bats in Antarctica?" Good question. And they cover up the satellites. The heat source or their electricity shuts down because it's solar panel, and they basically die. And it's crazy because the generator came on, and somehow they killed the generator because a bat snuck in on the back of one of the girls. She was going out there trying to get the bats off the thing, and they ran face first into the heater, and I guess both busted the breaker somehow. I don't understand how that would have busted the breaker, but it did. Um, or busted the generator somehow because it uh, how to explain that? Like it somehow it just I have no idea. I have no idea. It kicked the generator off or something somehow. I don't know, and it wouldn't work. So they're trying to get the power back on, and they can't do it. So they end up dying. I think they set the pigeon free. Pigeons. They had a couple pigeons in there, and they set them free. And they thought that the bats would leave them alone if they did that, but they didn't. They didn't. They didn't leave. They were there to kill them. Um, yeah, so it's crazy things like that happen throughout the first season, introducing all these animals that are now acting on their own. They're not taking crap from humans. They're not, whatever. But by and in the first season, every mammal somehow, and like from zoos and things like that, they had broken free. They're no longer in the cages. They were fighting back. It started with lions and tigers, I think, or it started with lions, and then something to do with cats, but they never really went back and talked more about the cats. In like the third episode, I think is when that happened. Third or fourth is when all these cats were hanging out in the trees, and then they figured out, oh, they're doing this for no reason. They were just hanging out together, and then they hung out together for like 2 months or whatever. They were up in this tree, and they thought some big animal had treed them or something, and then they got stuck, and then they were just scared to come down. They were just hanging out together, and they all just came. He called the cops, or called the animal people to come get them. Well, evidently they overheard them, and they just went home. During the episode, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. And then later on, I'm thinking like, what about the cats? Like they never show the cats really that much. So I don't know if they're part of the herd, but there was this huge herd at the end of season one. They're getting ready, they're heading toward the airport to get on a plane to go. I can't remember where they're trying to go. Um, I think her name is Jessie. Maybe is that her name? Jessie or something? It's Jess. I think it's short for Jessica. I think, but they call her Jessie. I think, and she got taken in from some guy because there was a plane crash, and I kind of fell asleep during one episode, but I don't think I really missed too much information per se about the show. I kept on watching, and I don't think I missed anything. It's just they had that happen, and then they were rescued, and they kind of like one episode they kind of jumped. So I don't know if this happened in the book, but in the TV series it kind of didn't translate very well. It kind of translated kind of jumpy, like they were trying to skip stuff. So they just said this happens, and put them on the land, or put them with Chloe again, because Chloe was not with them. Everybody else went over to Africa. Was there one chick with them? I'm trying to think of Jessica. Jessica was with them, or whatever her name is. I want to say yes, but I could be wrong. Because I thought she was trying to do something with Mitch back home, but they were trying to get the leopard to come overseas. But then Mitch was doing something with the leopard in Africa. So evidently they weren't in America. So I'm thinking she was with them in Africa when they went back and went to talk to people. So yeah, pretty good, just good first season though. If you haven't checked out the show, I got into it. I just stopped watching it and stopped recording it because one, things were coming on. I think it comes on it's on a different day now. So I think that's kind of good. That kind of helped it because I think it used to be on Monday and everything. They always like to put all the good shows on Monday, or it was on a Tuesday. That might have been when it was. I think it was on a Tuesday originally, and I could still record it, but my wife had something else she was recording, So I had to give up either zoo or wrestling, and I'm going to choose wrestling every single time for the most part. This is a really good show, but it's got to be damn good to freaking replace wrestling um, for me. So some shows I just wait till they go on Netflix, and this one, like I said, I could have just watched it really, but some things kind of, and now it's switch days, so now I can probably watch. I'm recording it right now. I believe it's either gonna be probably the third season, probably the third season. Um, I would say because usually Netflix releases the previous season as soon as the show starts. That's usually what happens, and that's what happened with this one too. Because it said Zoo season 2 was on there like a month ago or something. So shortly between the new season's gonna come on there, like a week or two before, they'll drop the previous season onto Netflix with most of the shows. I know they did that with Sons of Anarchy, Walking Dead. No, not Sons of Anarchy, because they just put the whole thing on there. Walking Dead is like that, and there's some other shows like that they just drop the previous. When the next season's coming out, they drop the previous season on the Netflix. So it's like the current season will never be on there. Like if you're watching season 2, you have to wait until season 3 comes on or is getting ready to come on before they release season 2. Um, so if you ever want to get caught up with this show on Netflix, um, watch it all. It the show is still on. Now there are some shows I know that's been on for quite a while, like Madam Secretary, I think, just got put on Netflix. I don't think it was on there before, and I don't think that they have all the seasons on there. I think they only have the 3 seasons on there. So sometimes I think they just kind of test it and see if anybody's going to watch a certain show. And if nobody watches it, they're just not going to keep it on there. So if you ever see a show, uh, at least watch a couple episodes so they know you're interested in watching it, or they may not keep it on there. I noticed a few things kind of disappear quickly because nobody was probably watching it. But I mean, I know it was a cool show and cool movie, whatever, and they just nobody watched it probably within a certain amount of time and they got rid of it. Um, yeah, but season 1, really good. Like I said, cool action sequences as well. Um, there's just a lot of cool stuff that goes on, and um, it's definitely worth a watch if you like apocalyptic kind of things. This is definitely one to watch. It's not like it kind of reminds me, and I hope it doesn't end like The Stand. I was just talking to the zoo about somebody at work, and we were talking about, and something made me think of The Stand, comparing it to the zoo or Zoo, whatever the show, and it's just kind of crazy how I kept thinking about that. I'm like, man, I hope it don't end like something stupid like that. But I mean, oh, here's one thing in the first season too that kind of caught me off surprise because I started watching it, and when I stopped watching it, it was an episode where the wolves had broken this guy out of prison. And I remember watching this, and I think I fell asleep, and I didn't really watch much of the episode. But I know I got to that episode, but I must not have remembered what they did to the guy. But they end up killing the guy off. And when I watched it originally, I'm thinking, oh, this guy is going to be working with the animals. Now, something happens in season 2. I'm not going to get into it right now. When I finish season 2, I'll do a season 2 review, and I'll discuss that. But I thought they were going to have a human, how do you say this, antagonist working with the animals in season 1, but it may happen in a later season because of what happened uh, in the first season. Something happens, and it doesn't really come into fruition what happened until like later on. And I don't even remember when that certain thing happened. I think it must have happened in season 2 or at the beginning or near the end of season 1. I think it had to happen at the beginning of season 2. Something happened. I can't remember really when that happened. But anyway, 20 minutes is way too long for a TV season review. Anyway, but I was talking about stuff. But definitely the pros about watching this show is, like I said, if you like apocalyptic shows, really cool. And it's kind of more. It's not like scientific. I guess I wouldn't say scientific. It's more like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But anyway, watch a couple episodes. Wait until something kind of like this show. This is what I would do. I would watch 5 episodes of this show, give it enough time, sink in, see if you like the characters. If it intrigues you, there's way more of this show, and it gets a lot crazier later on. Trust me. But give it a shot. If you don't like it, you don't like it, whatever. Come back here, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below about season 1, and what you thought about the first season. Season 2, I will be reviewing that, telling you what I thought about season 2. Like I said, I'm halfway through it right now. But I'm like, I gotta do a review of season 1. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. I shouldn't have to tell you that. You know the routine down below. See you guys later. Keep rocking.